Hey everybody, welcome to Bomb Squad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you're about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story.
While looking really good.
Oh, yeah. We are dressed up, all in our own ways. Ryan
Again,
nods.
hungover celebrity.
That's what he's going for. Into the mic, man.
Barely wearing pants. Barely.
We will be coming up in this session on episode 200. It will be the last episode of the night tonight. And 200 episodes. Woo! If you made it this far, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Anyways, I think that's it. We've got a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure when this is going to come out exactly, but we have the Kingmaker campaign, West March, that we have started in our Discord. So part of what you get from content from us as a supporter is you join a Kingmaker West March Pathfinder 2nd Edition game, Discord-wide. People are making characters right now, and they're getting posted in there. I'm very hopeful that it will be very exciting. Some great characters. The dragons and lizard folk may be taking over. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
As characters and NPCs.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And also, we will have some new shows coming out, so I hope you guys enjoy that. We'll be doing some different content here and very soon. You in the know, we've been posting a little behind the scenes, so hopefully we'll get to do more of that this month as of recording. But I think that's about it. Check out the links in the description below if you want to become a part of this. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things, and I'm looking forward to what happens. And we'll probably try to do a live watch party of the final episodes of Bomb Squad. We'll see how that goes. At least in the Discord, probably, with supporters. So, anyways, any RPG MRE?
I didn't even think about that.
You're good.
Until right now. Like when you looked over, I was like,
Straight bow ties. Straight bow ties.
Stret. What?
Stret? Well,
Strep bow ties.
perfect. Let's dive into the struttiest episode of Bomb Squad. Okay. Yay! Just do it.
I'm playing your character right now.
We dive back in. All right.
Gliding.
I forgot to say it, but love you, Patreon and locals. Hopefully you're watching the episodes as well as the behind-the-scenes content. Stuff happened. I missed it all, so I'll be enjoying it later.
Just not too far behind. Leave those scenes alone.
All right. Focus. Here we go. Episode 1. I think at this point we just say episode. It's episode.
Episode, so that we're counting 297.
197. Because we're coming up on the 200.
That's right. I jumped in. Guys, future thinking. This is how it is.
Time skip.
Time skip.
We'll get there.
All right.
Quinn and his quill. It's on the bark.
Stop making me laugh. It hurts.
All right, so we left off in the middle of a challenge event last time with you guys on the defensive. You had decided to keep Nori's home in the mountains near that small village as your secret getaway. If all things fail, the priority module, correct me if I'm wrong, is remaining there with Nori, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That was perfect. So, priority module is with Nori and Lenny, and William, the main head of that small village there. So I'm just adjusting music, and you made connections with 𝑑𝒐𝒏𝒄𝒂. We're going to use this episode to kind of play that out. I have a couple scenes I want to hit based on those roles, and I want to kind of collaboratively flesh out what you guys have done so far, and then we'll finish the rolls. We're currently at 9 of 16 successes, 4 of 8 failures. Again, we're continuing with what we were doing before. If you spend a flaw, you get 1 legend point you can spend at any time, and another legend point to spend on the next challenge event we'll do at the second half of this session. So, reminders, we're trying to create that sense of the descent. We are in, the darkest part here where you guys are trying to set up something. So, let's see where we begin. Actually, I think we'll begin with Ilyad. Are you ready? I have some scenes, and then I'll open it up when we do more of the collaborative stuff on what the defenses look like, how _th is, what things that happen there. But starting with Ilyad, you had been trying to create connections with Proctor Mala, well, Lesser Seat Mala now, and trying to see what you could do about creating an underground railroad idea of getting people who are standing against the rising cult into _th, as you guys are trying to make _th the final stand, and funneling anyone you can in there. In doing that, I don't think we specified if you traveled there. Would you like to have traveled there while this is going on? Or would you have tried to meet with him, maybe even in Prati, which between Prati and Avicen, those are the two strongholds of the Cult of Origin.
Would I even have had time to travel there?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking more than a year is passing during this whole time skip.
Okay.
Yes. Travel down there?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, let's do it.
And what you had used was your compulsion flaw, where you spotted someone just walking the streets, I think, of the home you haven't been to in years. You could have sworn it was your mother. Obviously, you knew it wasn't, but you just couldn't help but follow this woman and heading into a tavern. And as soon as you walked in there, someone grabbed you from behind and pulled you into a back room, and you find yourself facing Fennec. Do you
Wait,
remember?
the Fennec?
Yes.
Like
Fennec.
Fennec the Menace? Just kidding.
Fennec the Medic.
Oh my gosh.
The Menace.
Sorry. Canon.
Canon. Fennec, the one who
was
actually
basically-
killed
Yes.
the
That's what I thought it
maestro,
was.
your old boss and mentor.
Thank you for ensuring that I actually...
Yeah,
I
you're
did.
good.
I
And
did
put
actually
all
know
the
the
blame
name.
on you, which is why
Right.
you had to flee
Yep.
originally.
What on earth?
And stepping out from behind him, Proctor Lesser Seat Mala is there with Fennec. Now, you do know Lesser Seat Mala has been very explicit in that he has been working with Fennec because Fennec, since you've been gone, has now gained
he
control
took
of
that's
most of
right.
the area. The gangs there have now become an actual political faction, and Fennec has vowed himself to worshiping Origin, and this southern hemisphere got hit the hardest and the earliest with the blight. So they have definitely given in, as there are small patches where the Whales Fins project is being used and people are being ferried, or the High Seat has made several trips out here to heal people from the blight.
Does Fennec look like the mangled, the gross, the...
No, he is not undead.
He's... Okay.
He is he's a gnome, and but he is currently wearing the maestro's mask, which gives you this sense of like this old theater style glorious top hat, long coat, and there's just kind of this air of wispiness around him.
So it's Danny DeVito with the dog face.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Got it.
Danny DeVito's actually pretty solid. Canon.
Canon. What?
The menace. So I want to have a little role play here to drop a bomb on you,
Okay.
and then we'll move into a time skip
Yep.
of you escaping. Obviously, you're gonna get away.
And remind me. Physically, where are we at this point?
You're in the southern continent.
Okay.
Well, the western
because
continent.
I traveled there.
You traveled
Yes,
there.
okay.
Yep. You're in your old stomping grounds.
Gotcha. Yes.
But a lot has changed, and the Origin cult is very strong here. So,
Okay.
Long time no see, kid.
It's just an evil Nori.
I'm just seeing the face. Okay. Fennec.
I mean, are you really surprised? I own this place now, so.
Okay. What? Where have you even been?
Well, everywhere. I stayed here. I
How could
built
you-
something.
How could you possibly show your face to me now?
How could you show your face to me? You know you're wanted here still, for what you did. And I had to step in and take the mantle.
I wouldn't even go down that road, Fennec.
Oh,
You and
I've
I-
already been down that road. And I've made it a better street than it ever was. This is my town. This is my country.
Say what you want. I have bigger things than dealing with the likes of you.
𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒄𝒂 speaks up. Ilyad. You
Yes.
must understand.
Why are you working with him?
You know why.
I'd like
For
to...
all his faults, he has brought this place together. Right, maybe one of them, and he looks down as a orc looking down on this gnome. But we cannot deny what he has done here. Please, you must see and understand. The time of change has come. We have spoken in my letters I have written to you. You know, there is only one way out of this disaster.
What is it that you need of me?
To join us.
Join you?
Of course. There is no reason to resist. We can make the world a better place. Please. Have you not seen, have I not always helped you in all that you have done?
Can he use, like, perception to determine if there's...
Maybe just a little,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Here you
Yeah,
go. Kissing it.
No. I didn't ask him to kiss it. Remember, that was a bad thing you were doing.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, save it for the fans.
Conversation with a kid, I'm not ready. That was a bad thing you were doing.
No, we don't kiss.
We don't. No. We don't do that.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
Okay.
Carry on.
So, yeah, can he use, like, perception?
You could use your observant
determine-
perk, actually.
Observant. Thank you.
I
I
would-
knew there was another one, Dan.
I think that would be perfect in this
Okay.
moment. A lot of things in this moment, being there, seeing this, and hearing 𝒂𝒂💧 speak more openly. He's always had, he has accepted our union. You've always known that. But he's never been like the people that Pim Pam had talked about in Avicen. He's always been cordial and calm and wanted to convince and to explain. And he's never forced you to do anything before. And he has been helpful in everything you've asked. But it's almost as if in this moment you see beyond this. And maybe the Falcon grants you insight. There's this moment where your eyes flash. The Phoenix! Dan forgot. Sorry. No, it's good. He earned it.
Sounded right to me.
He sounded David just
Drink.
yeah,
There it is.
David just got used to the Falcon and I changed it. Yes. So
Is this a chinchilla now? That's good.
you realize I'm gonna slightly change something small because I think it's right. You realize that 𝒂𝒂💧 is has the scar across his neck, like those who have given themselves over to the cult have done. If you remember, there was that scene where people were committing
I remember the scene. I don't remember
ritual
the scar.
suicide and
Yeah.
then the head
Oh,
coming
removing
off
their head. That's right.
to
Okay.
to kind of walk through the path that the high seat walked through or was walked through
Right.
to become ascended.
Okay.
So you realize he is fully given in to this cult. And there's there's something darker there. The falcon speaks, I think. Althane, make the truth be known. The phoenix.
I was telling future Dan.
I know. Phoenix. I'm gonna dub it over later. Badly. Phoenix. I'm not gonna do that. No post work. So, but yeah, hearkening back to the deity game and how, as the falcon, he always demanded, speak plainly. Make him speak plainly, Althane.
We came out of the observant.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Proctamala. What? Lesser seed Mala?
Yeah.
I thought he was Proctor.
He got promoted.
He got promoted.
I changed all the names on David, and I'm messing them up anyway. Carry on.
Lesser seed Mala. We've known each other for a long time. You and I both know there's more to this than what you're telling me. What do you really want?
It is not what I want, but what he wants. Your willing devotion. Do not be as your parents and resist.
Do not ever let my parents' names leave your mouth. I have a higher calling, a higher purpose, and you nor this thing can stop me from that. You'll have to chase me down if you need my help.
Fennec laughs. And you see Mala sigh. I was so hopeful, Ilyad. But you speak like your father. Very well. I shall skewer you as I did both of them. I was really hoping not for that. And he, all of a sudden, extra appendages start coming out of his sides, ripping through. His neck extends 2 or 3 times longer than the head usually.
Cannon.
Fennec is just manically laughing and watching this, and shadows are starting to pour off of him as you hear him playing his some kind of instrument that must be hidden in the illusion that the maestro's mask creates. And as
Sorry, I just got this image of just this portly Danny DeVito dog. Just going like a little
like the Three Stooges when they swallow that thing.
right.
An
It's like
accordion.
a little accordion. Or like a bagpipe starts. I'm so sorry.
Anyways, no. While all this horror is happening, as this is all going down, the room starts filling with smoke. You hear sounds and shuffling. Crossbow bolts start flying in, and someone punches the person holding you and grabs and pulls you, and it's Zoya saying, "Run!" And you both take off. That's your scene.
Shoot!
Good job.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
It's
it
his
hurts.
injury.
It's my injury.
He did
mode.
actually get hurt. Not in this moment right now. But
Sorry. Taking this man a
now.
little far.
This moment now is emotional. There's a physical injury.
Just give me a minute. I
so
went to like grab my tie knot, but I couldn't.
in this
Because it's stret.
Stretton.
currently a path for Oral Breve to get people from Oral Breve to Dinalthir has not been established. As it's clear they control this area. There's still the potential. It's something you guys could pursue in the next round of rolling. But in this happening, Ilyad has discovered the truth about his parents, and also 𝒔𝒐𝒏𝒔𝒐 has been revealed as an enemy. So there's no more disguising it. So you guys are able to sever that connection, and they won't be able to infiltrate your underground because the truth has been revealed. But you also were unable to establish a safe route. That doesn't mean people can't necessarily get there, and you can still try in the next round. Yes.
What truth about my parents?
𝒔𝒐𝒏𝒔𝒐 is the one that killed your parents.
Way back when?
Yeah.
And you snuck that in so sneakily.
He said, I'll skewer you like I skewered them.
Okay. Man, then you deserved a better reaction.
I thought you were
catch
just
it.
stunned. I didn't realize you didn't catch it. I'm so sorry.
No, I just...
Do you want to...
No, it's fine. No.
Retcon?
No, we're sticking with help.
I like that, though. Ilyad needs to be away
Episode
from all
title.
this.
Right.
It's not that bad, actually.
HAAAAEEELLLPPP exclamation point
Yes.
question mark exclamation point
Hand emoji.
hand emoji.
This is why I watch movies multiple times. Wait, what happened?
Maybe we'll just hop some scenes. Sorry, I want to move through these. So I think the best one next is going to be Quinn and Aurora with Miri Marie unlocking an ability to heal the blight. Because that's what you guys had rolled on.
This is before we get to Denal
This is
Fear.
before, yeah.
Okay.
We're kind of bouncing through the rolls you guys did. So something you guys have been working on. It requires. I don't. We know. I'll just info dump a little. We don't have to role play this. It requires the tools and Aurora and Quinn as it has before, but the Miri Marie is playing. I will do a little thing. Is Miri Marie's playing with that pottery piece that Pim Pam gave her, and then she's just like spinning in her hand and flicking. And there's just this moment, and she's just like, "I got it." And she figured out a way to make the whale's fin project be able to work in a sentient being. However, it requires the tools. Her, as you guys had explained the tools and she started to understand it, that was the missing piece. It needed something like that, something supernatural to make that transition. So it's not anywhere near as fast as what the high seat can do, but it is true healing. You all know that what the high seat is doing is not actually healing them. It is just giving them a voice to speak. But once he's done that, you're already actually lost. This takes a long time. It takes a lot of your energy, but not as much as it did before, because the whale's fin, what would we call it? The whale's fin,
Enhances?
yeah, I was trying to think of not a vaccine, but something like
The
that.
material component.
Potion, yeah, it takes the
catalyst?
heavy lifting, yeah. Takes the heavy lifting away, and you're able, like, Quinn is actually using it. It becomes this constant supply that Miri Marie is making this. It's the, like you said, the material components that are actually sewn into the body to be able to. Now you have to get to people before it's too late, though. There is a point where if the soul has been consumed, if the soul is gone, it's too late. If there is something still there of them, you can bring them back. You cannot bring back anyone that is willingly giving themselves over. It's only those that are slowly being sapped.
And it's a 1-by-1 thing.
It is a bit.
it's
You
not-
can do, like, yes, which is why it's so much slower. I mean, even the high seat has to do 1-by-1, but it takes him minutes,
Yeah.
moments, and he can do thousands, whereas you guys, it's a hospital, and you're the surgeon.
Yeah.
The two of you. So it definitely has to be a tough thing. But that leads into the scene with King Beck. When Quinn and Aurora arrive after Brick and Pim Pam have done their walking around, and Pim Pam has, by sheer willpower, collected the information and not made a move on anyone yet. As as you arrive and get an audience with King Beck, the only reason he allows to even see you once Aurora lets the right people know who she is because at this moment there is a unsettled peace. He knows the cult is doing things behind his back, but nothing is out in the open, and because Pim Pam chose not to act, he is in a place where he can receive and nothing has been decided yet. He gets the opportunity to make the decision to move rather than being forced into it.
Willpower.
Yes. And so somehow I want you guys to express that to Pim Pam and stuff too, to say, because of that, even though in the moment something wasn't done, this allows for that action to happen because King Beck wouldn't have spoken to you otherwise.
Can Aurora say what she was going to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
And
very
when
short.
you, let me just set the scene real quick, and then I wanted to have
Okay.
the role played out. You are actually brought into his private quarters because he has also heard whispers that you guys have a way to heal those inflicted with the blight. And as you come in, you see a woman who hasn't been seen in a long time, his queen, lying on the bed with that blank look. And he is sitting next to her. And you guys enter into the room privately. Only his closest advisors know that you're there.
Quinn would move directly to the bedside.
Guards are definitely still there, and they would step in front of you.
Yeah. You must let me pass. You know why we're here. You know why we're in this room. You must let me pass if you will have your queen well again.
King Beck is a halfling with a thin mustache leading to kind of a long goatee, white hair. He's balding at the top, but it still is nicely. It's just a clean receding hairline that is slicked over, but he's tired. His eye, it doesn't look like he's slept in days, and his face is very wrinkled, and he looks older even than he really is.
Can I use perception to see if she is too far gone? Can I tell at a glance at this point?
Yeah.
Whether or not that there's no chance, or if there's still time.
No, you can tell. We don't have to roll for that because this
Okay.
is kind of wrapped up in the rolls you guys already
Okay.
did. That it is not too late. It
Okay.
is probably as close as you
Okay.
can possibly get because she's not reacting to any stimuli anymore.
Right.
So she's like right on the edge.
He's gonna bypass the guards, and he's gonna look right at King Beck. Not bypass. He's gonna speak past the guards. Right there. My lord, we don't have much time. Please have faith.
We can help her.
Have faith in what is true, what is good. You've seen what the ugly, you've seen what evil can do, and this is what it is.
I have seen much in my time. He looks at Aurora specifically, side-eyeing Quinn. Is it true what they say? Can this one do a miracle?
No. We can. This is the miracle of life. And it is only because of our faith together and our work together that we are able to do this. We come to you for the same thing. We can't win this war by ourselves. We need you. We cannot heal without each other. If you put your faith in just one person, you will be disappointed. Let us work together. Let us be here for each other, using our gifts, our talents, individually to be able to help.
I have heard many promises as such, young one. But there is substance in what you speak. I knew your parents, Aurora.
Yes.
They gave all for this kingdom. I do not take that lightly.
Now they are woven into the very fabric of this world. And now this world is under siege. You can trust us. Will you join me, my family, the Greenwoods, once again? We need to set this world back in balance. And we can prove it here. One small step.
It's not just about healing the people. It's about healing the very land itself. Please.
Show me.
Mary Marie is here with us, correct?
Sure, I love that.
I mean, I would imagine she doesn't go without the whale's fin.
Yeah.
Whale's fin.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that's her sworn duty. That's her responsibility.
Yep.
And so I would sit on the bed beside the queen and hold Aurora's hand, and Aurora holding Mary Marie. How does the whale fin get involved? You had mentioned that it's sewn into the person.
I mean,
essentially, in the similar way, we're making it up as we go along.
Whatever you think.
I think it depends a little bit in the way that Quinn used the tools individually to heal whatever ailment or whatever that person needed. Mm-hmm. And so however the blight has taken them and affected them in that moment, how aware they are, whether it's just a blindness and a stare, but they're still walking around and moving. Maybe it's the poultice over the eyes, if it's the mouth being able to drink something.
I think for the queen, she needs to be called back.
She needs to be called back.
It's almost like a sweet scent needs to bring her. She's lost.
Got it.
And needs to know how to come home.
Perfect. So I think what we'll do is we'll do two things. Do I still have, I want to say like access to, do I still get to use their threads?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to be.
Because it has to be, because Aurora has to be part of that cell being called back.
Yeah. And if the soul is gone, the thread is gone, and that's why you can't. That's when you know if there's no thread to find.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is, Aurora, be ready to call her. She will need to hear your voice. He's going to take the whale's fin and he's going to crush it in his hands, and there's this glow, and the whale's fin's going to turn into a flower. So essentially it's going to reconstruct itself into a flower of whale's fin and that kind of stuff. And so what he's going to do is he's going to wrap the cord, the thread around that. He's going to hand the cord to Aurora. He's going to hold it under her nose to smell, and as he holds it under there, he's going to blow on it, and there's like this almost like Peter Pan pixie dust comes from it, and being able for her to breathe in as she is doing it. And can Mary Marie sing? If Ilyad was there,
I imagine her being quiet, but maybe humming. Like, I imagine a lot of humming as she's working, as it putting things into places, more than actually singing.
There's that's perfect. I think that's wonderful, especially in this peaceful, calm aspect of it. But I think there's this connection, and Quinn can explain the connection of the music and how creation itself is born out of music and is born out of, life itself is born out from that. And so have Mary Marie hum, thank you very much. And she's going to blow on the piece, and she's going to breathe it in, and Aurora, call her by name.
Alicia. The king says. I like the idea that as Mary Marie's humming too, some of the pixie dust, she's actually touching it and moving it very specifically, certain ones.
I want it to go into her ears. She's smelling it, but I want her ears to be opened to this as well. If she needs to be called back physically, that the blight needs to be moved out from her ears, and the light from the dust needs to pierce through that darkness, and so that Aurora's voice can be heard.
And Aurora will breathe out, and frost will come all over as she walks back into death, looking for her. My queen? It's Aurora Greenwood. My parents were Colin and Selena. Queen Alicia, you need to come back. Your kingdom needs you. The king needs you.
It's so very dark. And you can see her in the Sea of Stars. Water is coming up almost as like trees, and you can see her walking blind, and she's just trying to reach out, but she's backing away from you as if confused as to where to go. And that's when the pixie dust starts coming, and she starts following it and reaches her hand out to grab onto you. And as you pull, she sits up, and the king and the queen embrace. And we pan out.
Nice.
Well done, guys. That's fun.
Thank you, Zach, for joining that. Thank you, Kristen.
We pan out to how you guys set up the kingdom of Dinh-Ulthir. After this, King Bec officially denounces the scripture of our union and breaks ties with what was once the White Dragon faith, which was Dinh-Ulthir's main faith. They had a very strong political connection. He has declared it. All those of the cult are now officially declared villains of the state and are being banished. So that is where, yeah, that's where Pim Pam, this is where Pim Pam and Brick's last roles come in. Yes. It is now they that have to establish an underground within Dinh-Ulthir if they want to do anything. But there will be that time. So this is where we transition. Yes, which is how we ended the last episode too.
Parentheses, open season.
What Austin and I have been talking in the background a little bit about what the kingdom looks like. I'd love your description on the castle, but also we'll have you describe that a little bit, and then have Pim Pam and Brick talk about what you guys are doing practically, as Pim Pam is dealing with routing out any that are still around here. Now, it's very restricted. This is like Gondor. It's this one shining beacon surrounded by darkness. You guys are basically this bastion holding this point where the mountain and the sea meet. And there is this safe point here, and Dinh-Ulthir is right here, creating this wall, protecting what feels like almost the last stand. Very much so. And the idea, I'll have Austin do a little description because I loved your image of what the castle looks like, as the city does have to kind of collapse in on the main castle fortification. It can't maintain the full birth of what this city had become. It's back to that original structure. And as Austin's describing it and imagining when you guys had arrived, everything seemed faded. It was as if a shadow was over it. The paint is faded away. There's less color. And as this is happening, and as what Pim Pam and Brick are doing, it's like color starts coming back in with a very hard line just outside the castle. It's this bright spot standing against the darkness. So I think we'll have Austin describe some of what you pictured the castle, and then you guys, and I think Aurora, I mean everybody really, but I want to give Pim Pam and Brick specifically time to talk about what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, what we were talking about, the the castle, I think previous to this, almost took on a shade of the darkness of the world around it. right? There was the castle itself had like just this dark gray, almost like a scummy, dirty look to it. And after King Bec had renounced the Book of Our Union and everything was placed in security around this place that you were talking about, like this beacon, you could almost tangibly feel the dirt and the muck and the gross just kind of eke away from it, and the walls became, the colors were brighter, but they were white. Like you could see that they were really white underneath. And the darkness around it, there's this huge, very stark contrast between this white, shining city castle, right in the middle of these very dark, ugly, grimy mountains. And inside the castle, there was the stonework of just pure skill. I keep imagining this Lord of the Rings-esque type of place. You know, it was almost the imagery of when Gandalf comes down the white horse and he's got his staff overhead, and it's just this beacon of white light. And the way the cinematography works out is just, it's going against the stark contrast of the gray sky and the dirt and the mud and the gross that's around him. And you can't help but look at it. And this Dîn Ulthir is becoming this place where it is intentionally and almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Vehemently is coming against it, but they're going against the world, against the culture itself. Obstinate. It's not obstinate. It's not the right word. Help me if you think of it. But it's
Defiant.
Yeah, I guess there's this bright, defiant light in the middle of darkness. And insiders, you start to realize as you're inside how beautiful everything is. The stonework is pure, carved just granite and limestone, and it's just beautiful. And there's these, I mean, everything is clean. And I think of the halls inside with the dwarves' castles, where everything is these huge, fat pillars that are perfectly etched. And then they just kind of go into the mountain. They just grow from like as if they're out of the mountain themselves. And there's a little bit more of the raw mountain, but everything is brighter. There are like no shadows inside the mountain. There's no shadows inside the castle. Everything is just there and clean, and it feels pure, and you can't help but feel different, just physically different, walking into the castle than even just walking outside. And it has become a place of solace and peace.
I love that.
So does the castle go like back against the mountain, on either like the northern or the southern face?
It's like not very close. There's still a good traveling distance, but the top of the mountain, if you will, to the north, does this slight curve as it finishes. What do I want to say? The whole range finishes, and so Dîn Ulthir is set here. And if you went to the highest towers, you're close enough where you can catch the edge of the continent and where the ocean is at the top there. But you have to get up there, and there's this nice space between the ocean and the mountain wrapping just around. But it's definitely a backdrop. It's not like we're right up against the mountain.
Okay.
But the dwarves have always, especially the northern dwarves, have always had a good relationship, and that's where Demeter is and where Tatiana came from. So that is safe, and Dîn Ulthir is protecting that safe spot. And I think I like the idea of going with the Lord of the Rings vibe too, that King Bec has that idea of King Theoden when he's lost that and age is falling off. They are a slightly comedic couple because he is a halfling and she is a human, so she is always towering above him even though she's not terribly tall. But he's out there. I like the idea too that in the city part that has had to be abandoned, the brightness and the dark are kind of flitting and fighting, and I want to see what that is, where Brick and Pim Pam, probably Pim Pam more on those outskirts, and I think Brick, you were working more on setting up the real stronghold defenses at the castle itself. What's going on there? And you guys do recognize, adding more, that beyond where the brightness is, it's turning to all barren wasteland. And it reminds you guys of when you were traveling through the heart of Daitos, that image of 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒅𝒃 fighting. You know he was here. Whatever you were seeing is sometime in the future where he is standing there in that field fighting.
Okay, I propose Pim Pam and Brick having a scene on the inner wall looking out over that battleground of shadow and dark and light where the outer ring of the city is. Because I think that is a very prominent feature, and it's something that I think both of us are thinking about.
So we're seeing
a visual change in the world. It's not just. Actually, let's just roll right into it. Like we're seeing a visual change in the world. Like it's one thing when you can draw a line on a map, but I mean it's right there.
we made the right call.
Yeah, or our call made it right. Like, but I mean, if this is what the rest of the world is facing, how are we supposed to do that all inside the inner walls?
We just worry about what's in front of us, what we can control. Care about the people around us, and we work our way out.
Right, but like, look, there's and Pimble, like, see that house right there? Like, that's a whole homestead. They're safe in here now. But it's in our grasp. It's right there. We need it. They need it. I don't want to give any more of this up.
Pim, don't underestimate how much people can lose and still come back. We'll come back.
It's a lot like my house. I see it from up here. I hardly even lived there, but it's still my place. I don't know if it's how safe it is or where it'll come back, but I think it has more chance than most. But they live their whole life there. Can't we take back a piece of this?
We'll take back one piece at a time. When we're ready. And for now, we're making a home for those people that don't have one anymore. They need a place to go. They need a place to rest. And I think everybody needs a place to fight.
I think we see it. It's a place to fight, all right. We'll get him back then. So you can count on me. I'm not letting loose yet. What about the people that haven't made it yet? Perhaps some forays, light some roads. If we're not taking ground, then we at least need to let everyone know where this light is, and they need roads that they can get here.
Agreed. The path back to 𝒚𝒨𝒻.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably. Are we aware that there's a lot of people there that want to escape, or is that something we'd have to find out?
I mean, there's definitely people who would want to.
And the fact is, there are so few from the southern continent.
Yeah. So can that be like part of what our effort is
Yeah.
to especially seeing if Ilyad's coming back and saying, hey,
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Is he already back?
You guys can
let's say
flavor
no.
it. I say no for now.
Let's say no for now.
This is slightly early. Yeah, I like him coming
just-
back
no,
late.
Okay.
He
It
is.
adds into the flaw that he stayed too long. He is past due, let's say. That's part of the compulsion. He didn't want to leave home. It was hard to, and he stayed too long. That's why he got caught. Maybe you guys know that Zoya
Right.
left. You guys know Zoya left to find him.
Okay.
So,
He's coming back.
I know Quinn has his eyes on heading back up to Avison. Maybe then our path should be south. And from there we'll have like a strong network along the mountains and from the seas where people can make it in here.
Yeah, we need the routes.
Yep.
Let's get our base together. Let's get our home in order.
All right.
Let's get some beds ready. Because hopefully we're going to have a lot of people coming.
that's perfect. So we'll roll in the next episode on what you guys are up to. And I think to finish off, Dinothier needs a speech.
Yeah!
Spooch!
Is this
Is
a
that the
special
king or is it the kingdom?
kingdom?
Which one?
Dinothier. It's the
Dinothier.
kingdom.
Dinothier's the kingdom.
Yeah.
King Beck.
King
and
Beck,
Queen
that's right. I
Alicia.
can't remember his
Yep.
name. Okay.
Wait,
More
hold
like
on.
the capital,
It's getting
right?
It's gonna get bright.
Dinothier is the capital
Oh,
of
okay.
Dinothier. It's like New York, New York.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Dinothier started as that as a castle, as a city, and slowly conquered the whole place. So it's all Dinothier.
Quinn's gonna stand there on top, and he's looking out over a balcony inside the castle, inside the castle walls there, and it's just the whole of the kingdom. He's staying there, and Brick is standing beside him, arms crossed, not really doing anything. Probably not even looking at anyone. Quinn's gonna lean over to Brick. I need some light.
Where?
On me. So, taking a cue from your dance with Ilyad,
I didn't realize you put the
Brick
sunglasses.
like really bright light so that people can see me really well.
Brick will sigh and step backwards slowly. And,
Can you make a noise too? Make it so that like it sounds like it turns on.
no. You can make the noise. Brick will use energy to make a very bright light.
Nice.
Awesome. He's gonna have.
I'm gonna call that an opportunity event. Roll me your energy real quick before we do it. This is an opportunity event.
Do you want me to roll too for my speech?
No.
Okay.
No. This speech
I want to
will
hear
be
the
what
light
it is.
sound. That's what I want.
If you roll well, you have to
Do I
make the
get
light
advantage
sound.
from Ajax?
Yes, of course.
Ajax has to make the light sound.
No. That's a nat 1.
This isn't a failure success thing. It just means there's no bonuses later.
That is a nat 1.
Reroll
Explodies? You do have
Reroll.
You want me to use the reroll now?
for an advantage later.
Oh my gosh, fine.
exceptional success,
You-
and
you just
everyone
do
gets
this
an
little-
advantage on the next round.
You do this little light, but it only hits me like here, and I.
It's like just the flashlight or the cell phone.
Not much better. So that is a 14.
Any explodies?
No explodies.
Explodies. It is a success. One advantage in a pool, so not everybody gets it, but it wasn't very high.
No.
It's just the 12.
That's fine.
So you guys will have one advantage that someone can choose to use in the next round from the opportunity event.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Oh, Kristen does sound. Perfect.
I could not hear it.
Thank you, Aurora. Onwen, hear me. It is true what many of you have heard. The undead have gathered an army, and as I speak, the army is drawing nearer to our home. Believe me when I say that we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here before you now, truthfully, unafraid. Why? Because I believe something you do not? No. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 days we have fought these monsters. I remember that for 100 days they have sent their armies to destroy us, and after 100 days of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us send a message to that army. Tonight, let us shake this world. Tonight, let us tremble these holes of earth, steel, and stone. Let us be heard from red core to black sky. Tonight, let us make them remember. This is Onwen, and we are not afraid!
And then there's this really big dance party.
It's great.
And the metronome comes out.
Yes.
Even though I always
Yes.
We tap Bricken.
Yes.
That's the one on the roll.
Yeah, yeah.
He malfunctioned. Ajax
Malfunction, like his chest.
All the compartments are coming
No,
out.
it's okay. It's okay. I can work with this. And I will start like flitting back and forth with the straw.
Nice. This has been another fantastical episode of BombSquad and Avenue Studios production. Do give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to follow the adventure. You can further support us and become a part of the ever-growing force known as Avenue Studios by joining our locals and Patreon communities. Doing so not only helps us continue to create high-quality content, but you'll also gain access to bonus content as well as our private Discord, where you can chat with us, play games, including a West March Kingmaker campaign, and so much more. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for the sound, music, and ambience that we use, as well as Dadbod Fitness, Interplanar Crossroads, Start Playing Games with Jacob, and so much more. It's Start Playing Games is the website, but it flows nicely.
Command, we tell you to do it now.
Do it now. Thank you so much for joining the adventure. We will see you next time. Mara, bye.